The 10th generation of Pokemon games is right around the corner, and we've got a crazy new rumor that just surfaced on the internet that may detail out a ton of information about the upcoming Pokemon games. Let's dive in. Man, it feels like 2022 again, covering rumors. This is crazy stuff. If you guys remember watching the leak and rumor content for previous Pokemon games, make sure you drop a comment and let me know. But we're back in full force and better than ever, and this post just surfaced that has been breaking down a ton of information about Generation 10. It is quite interesting. If you haven't been following my leaks, I've got a bunch of videos that I've covered on the channel over the last few weeks talking about real leaks that came from early builds of Wind and Waves, the upcoming Gen 10 titles, which, by the way, we're expecting a release announcement for Pokemon Day at the end of February, so stay tuned for that. I'll have all the information here. But this post is a rumor, which means that there's always a chance that it's not real. However, we have seen these come to be real in the past, so it's fun to talk about them, it's fun to speculate them, and think about what could be coming in the next generation of Pokemon games. So let's take a look. The final name is not Wind and Wave, it's Gale and Surge. This name change happened very late in development. Big curveball right off the bat. The starters are a grass lizard that gains flying typing, a fire raccoon that gains dark, and a water baboon that gains poison. I would be down for this. A grass lizard that flies sounds pretty sweet to me. Fire raccoon, cool stuff there, and a water baboon. We know about these diving monkeys, so it's possible that they explore that. The legendaries are friendly elderly guardians that show up throughout the story to guide you, similar mythos to the Tapus. Now, we do know that based on the leaks that we've seen that there's a Wave Grandpa and a Wind Grandma or vice versa, so it's possible that these elderly guardians do tie in to what we've seen from the leaks so far. You're also gifted a mysterious Pokemon, Tahamem, who is an enchanted lump of ancient clay that is said to mold itself after pure trainers. We know from the leaks that there's this kind of seed Pokemon that changes throughout the game based on how you approach your story, and this seems to align exactly with that. It can follow you around but can't be used in battle during the story. It has a menu and a meter where you can see its progress. There are special wild Pokemon missions you can take on to influence its growth with both combative and environmental ways to solve them. If you do the more competitive approach to the missions, it will evolve into Jararka, a warrior statue with high attack, or if you do the environmental solutions, it will evolve into Falarka, a lion statue with high defense. You can also play with Tahamem, and the kinds of games you play will determine the color it evolves into. There are 10 to 12 colors for both of the different evolutions, including a default beige for you if you never play with it. So it's saying that you're going to get this interesting Pokemon, it's going to travel with you, you're going to play with it, you're going to be able to change its color based on how you play with it, and then there's two different approaches. You can get kind of the more combative missions, or you can do the more environmental missions. We do know that sustainability and the pillars of sustainability were in the leak files of what this could be, so and kind of some of the themes of the new game. So this is quite interesting that all of these features are being tied in here, and that this is what we might see with this brand new seed Pokemon. I'm all for it. It sounds fun, and I like the idea that everyone's adventure could be slightly different. Before I dive into some of the other cool stuff that this rumor breaks down, I want to let you guys know that we have our end of year sale going on for my game Elestrals. This is your last chance this year to secure some crazy deals, including buy one, get one free on our Frostfall and Daybreak booster boxes. That means you're averaging just 65 bucks a booster box, 36 packs. That's crazy. And the reason why we're doing that is because there's two particular cards in our game that have never been found. The X of 10 Stellar Cryoscorch and the X of 10 Stellar Chronodile. Those two cards are out there somewhere and no one has found them. Will you be the first to uncover these magical and mystical cards? I mean, these are legitimately the rarest cards in our game, and no one has found them yet. The other box toppers have all been found, but not these two. So we're doing a crazy BOGO to end the year. So use my link in the description. Head over to shopelestrals.com. We've got all sorts of other deals, promos with every order, discounts on other stuff. I mean, it's crazy stuff. So take advantage of it while you can. Buy one, get one free Frostfall and Daybreak booster boxes. Go get yourself a Cryoscorch and a Stellar Chronodile and throw down in a massive way. Link in the description below, and let's talk more Pokemon. Now it goes on to break down the Rotom board, which we've seen through kind of some of the leaked screenshots. It's a new mode of transportation. It's a board that'll take the form of a scooter on flat land, a skateboard on bumpy terrain, a snowboard on the mountains, and a surfboard on the water, and of course a hoverboard on air. It then goes on to break down that you can ride it yourself, or you can do it with a synchro ride, where you control the first Pokemon in your party with psychic reins attached to the board. This aligns pretty much to what we've seen from the leaks so far. Different Pokemon have different strengths here. A heavy one like Golem might be 10 times slower than a Rapidash on level land, but 10 times faster going down a mountain. That's super cool and something I didn't even consider. The idea that certain Pokemon may move faster in different terrains could make it advantageous to try to utilize different ones in different ways as you're traversing the region. It then goes on to talk about gyms. Gyms are not very important to the plot, with the badges being more important to exploring restricted areas than the actual story. The story is mainly about the Pokeguards, also known as the Great Shapers. They're powerful Pokemon from beyond the mortal realm who shape and protect the magical transforming islands of the region. There are fire, ice, ground, rock, psychic, and ghost guardians who all have Pedishards devoted to them, artifacts that radiate their power. So you've got these different elemental guardians that have these artifacts that provide their power. It ultimately says that the Pokemon can equip these shards and unlock Pedishard forms available to everyone. So you can use these different elements, fire, ice, ground, rock, psychic, and ghost, give these shards to your various Pokemon, and it will give them kind of these new forms. Fire makes you orange and bulging. Ice makes you teal and cubic. Ground makes you yellow and wide. Rock makes you green and jagged. Psychic makes you pink and lanky. Ghost makes you purple and translucent. Clouds that match your color will form above you while these shards are active, and they neutralize all weather while boosting the power of their respective type. So we know that there's a big theme and focus around weather. It's possible that these new Pokemon will be able to stop the weather and then ultimately create these really cool new forms. Certain Pokemon, 3 per Guardian, called the Great Vessels by NPCs, have more powerful Pedishard forms that are called Pediguard forms. So when you give these various Pokemon that we're about to mention these artifacts, not only do they transform into this new Pedishard form, but they turn into a more Guardian-esque form that has new stats, defensive boosts, etc. It says these Pokemon become solely the type of their respective Guardian, and they receive defensive boosts. It then goes on to break down that Magcargo, Heatmore, and Salazzle are the Fire-type Pediguards. They turn orange with triangular spikes. Dugong, Walrein, and Cryogonal are the Ice Pediguards. They turn teal with Minecraft-ish geometric shapes. Claydol, Hippowdon, and Mudsdale are the ground ones. They turn yellow and are crazy bulky. Golem, Rhyperior, and Stonejourner are the rock ones. They turn green and mountainous. Slowking, Xatu, and Jirachi are the psychic ones. They are pink and misty and look like constellations. And then Mismagius, Dragapult, and Goldango are the ghost ones. They turn into flickering purple outlines of themselves with no interiors. That's a really cool lineup of Pokemon. I think Jirachi is the one big confusing one because it's a little different than the rest, being a mythical, but that all sounds pretty cool to me. I think these are a lot of really cool options. The actual Pediguardians can be found in the post-game story. They're not exactly Ultra Beasts, but the Ultra Recon Squad does return to help you investigate. What? I can't even imagine the Ultra Recon Squad coming back. In an area beyond reality dubbed the Forgotten Zone, this is where they were born and where they spectate and influence the region. So these Pediguardians are what are inspiring these various forms that we just mentioned, Stonejourner and Xatu and so on and so forth. And there's these actual Guardians that you'll be able to find apparently post-game with the Ultra Recon Squad. Crazy stuff. The fire one, Penjagabi, looks like a big orange balloon animal. The ice one, Mbeku, looks like an ice cube with finger-like limbs coming off of it. The ground one, Dunai Wali, looks like a vortex of quicksand with glowing yellow eyes. The rock one, Pelibatu, is a green boulder that breaks apart into the shape of a draconic monster. The ghost one, Ramabuta, is a big wireframe purple face with a gaseous interior. And the psychic one, Pembintang, is the leader of all the Pediguardians. It is a slender pink alien humanoid that surrounds itself with star constellations. It is the creator of Jirachi, which it uses as a vessel in the world to influence the change of the land. That explains the Jirachi part. I should have read a little further. You catch them using guard balls, which are rainbow Pokeballs that turn to be solid of the color Pedguardian that you capture. You can't use regular Pokemon in them. So that's some crazy stuff. So you've got these Guardians in the post game. You're going to be able to use these special Pokeballs and ultimately capture them. And then there's a bit of more information about the region itself. It says the region is called Habler. It has trials in addition to gyms. But instead of totems, the trials are headed by gatekeepers who work like the bosses from Legend ZA. Makes sense to me. The gatekeepers are a new electric snake Hissvolt, Fracture, Dust Noir, Magnezone, a new flying poison goose Venhonk, Shuckle, Polisand, a new water-type swordfish Fensplash, and Volcarona. So these are the various gatekeepers. There are 3 species of Hoblurian forms. Hoblurian Ducklet and Swanna, who are ice and flying and look like figure skaters. Hoblurian Skitty, who's fairy and all pink and evolves into a new evolution called Kid Eclipse, which is a majestic and poofier pink cat with big fangs, and then Hablurian Poochyena and Mightyena, who become fighting type and brown with shaggier fur and bigger paws, ultimately evolving into Minotaena, a buff werewolf with gold chains around its wrists, ankles, and neck. That's all I know. Be back in March. That was a whole lot to digest. I think we just got the full breakdown of what this game could ultimately be. Of course, it's a rumor. There's always a chance that this is just some guy's fantasy, but it did a good job of interweaving the things that we know already from the leaks while also bringing a bunch of fresh ideas to the table. Some really cool stuff in here, and I'm curious to see if it comes true. We're going to continue to cover these rumors because there have been times when these things are real. I remember distinctly covering some really crazy ones in the past that ultimately turned out to be true. So we'll be keeping our eyes and ears open on these ones. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't miss your opportunity to throw down for the buy one, get one free sale and see if you could be the world's first Stellar Cryoscourge or Stellar Chronodile Enjoyer. That would be absolutely nuts. You could use my link in the description below and throw down. But again, we have a ton of stuff on sale right now. Plushies, starter decks, we got it all, man. It's amazing stuff. So if you ever wanted to get into my trading card game, Elestrals, now is the time to do so. You won't miss out. We've got our RPG Awaken coming. It's a great time to get involved, collect some cards, have fun, get introduced to the community because our RPG is going to be crazy awesome when it launches. Thanks so much for watching this one. I'll see you guys in the next.